Cool. So, welcome to another lick breakdown. Okay, so the lick that we're going to cover today is Atlas. Alright? So, the really important thing about Atlas, and the reason why I named it Atlas, is because it really utilizes the weight versus velocity argument. Atlas was the Titan in, I think, Greek mythology, who had to carry the heavens and I think one point the earth on his shoulders, right? Which is very interesting, right? But we're going to talk about the weight versus velocity aspects in this lick, right? Now, weight versus velocity is a very important topic to cover because, you'll see. So what weight is it's how to make up for that time that you don't have to make up for when you have velocity, right? So when you're using velocity, right, when you have a high amount of velocity, that means that the stick is consistently moving. It has velocity. It's building that up, right? But then when you have weight, when you have those slower motions, right, you need to have that weighty feel, right, to make up for that, right? If you have the same velocity, it's going to be very jittery, right? So you really have to utilize that weight, right? There's weight especially in that first part. So we're just going to jump right in. The first thing that there is a sextuplet pickup, right? And it's good to have the sextuplet subdivision in your mind, right? And to really be thinking of that first beat. Right, and come in with that same subdivision that you have set in your head, right? So the first part is just paradiddles, right? But instead of the first partial being accented, is the second partial, right? So then you have another sextuplet pickup to a fivelet, right? And the important thing here to note is that sextuplet pickup, it has a downstroke, right? So not only do you need to have a nice open hand, right? Because whatever happens at the front end also happens at the back end. Not only do you have to have an open hand for that downstroke, right? But you also need to have it for that tap, right? Because you need that tap to be nice and open, right? To have that nice sound, right? And if you're tense, not only will your downstroke sound bad, but you also won't get a tap, right? So make sure to keep your hand nice and open. So that's just like a cheese with some diddles. And the thing about this is that you have that buzz going to another buzz. So not only does the rhythm change, but you also have the added responsibility of having to do a buzz, right? Put that force downwards, then pick it up, right? With that ring finger, move it along, right? And this is kind of a dragging visual motion. Right, so you have to pick that up and then do it again. Next is just a 16th note pickup. Right, so it's kind of like the last one, except this is a tap and the space is a lot more open. Right, so you have another keys. Then you have these kind of double with the buzz on the second partial. Right, so just take that by itself, take it slow, right? With every single section of this, you can just take it slow, right? Break it down, play it over and over again, right? It might be awkward at first, but then you can build that familiarity with it, right? And then after that, you have to start going towards that back stick, right? I would first do this as 16th notes, right? Then later add in that 32nd note before that that downbeat, that third beat. Right, so that second right hand is right on the third beat, right? Next, you have a 8th note, followed by 32nd notes, right? 32nd note, 16th note, then right after that double, right? Because you're kind of cranking out that double, then you have to crank it up, right? Right, so that's also really hard, having that velocity downwards and then coming up for a nice double stroke. Then you have a crescendo, starting with the left hand, and then you have a decrescendo on the right hand, right? And that's just eighth note on, quarter notes. Yeah, sorry, eighth notes on the left hand, right? It's just down, right, and then a buzz, right? And make sure that you have a nice relaxed downstroke on the left hand so that you can get that buzz in. Right, then you have a, I think that's, 30-second note, right, sextuplet. Right, so make sure to throw that right hand in there because it's very fast. If you need to, just do the left hand, right? Right, then that right hand is on the and you wait out that third beat. Then do that that double buzz on the E of 3. And then that pickup is kind of like the pickup that you did before, right here, but it's very quiet and at the edge, and it's just. So you do the pickup, so that's very short and concise, right? And then you have the fivelet, right? So you again have this theme of something very short, right? Something very condensed, and then something open, right? Something with velocity, and then something that's more weighty, right? Right? Then you go from that weighty feel to that to more velocity, right? You're just throwing that down. Not only are you throwing that down, right, left, left, left. Not only are you throwing that down, but you also have to be ready for that buzz. Not only do you have to be ready for that buzz, but you have to be ready for the big open diddles right after that buzz. Right? Then after that big weighty buzz, that requires a little more wrist, right? Right. So there's the doubles that you stroke out, and then there's ones that you just kind of do arm with, right? So this is a lot more on that extreme of wrist, right? This is a lot more on the extreme of arm, right? It's very fast, right? Right. And then this fivelet may be concerning to some people, but it's just that, right? But you just tap those first two left hands, right? So you just get the feel, right? Do that a little bit. Right, just focus on having that pickup, right, and to make that nice and even. Right, then you have the sextuplet. Right, so this feels very nice to me. It's kind of in the middle of the weight and velocity. Feels very comfortable. You just have. Right, then this next one is just 16th notes. Right, but you just have a double between the second and third partial. Right, so really take that slow and go through it. Right, slowly get it accented, slowly get it faster. And then the next one, I like having things that like sound similar but just aren't the same at all. Right, so this is very much not the same as the last one, but it kind of sounds similar. Right, so this is just 64th notes. I know that says 4 tuplet, but that's just because I couldn't get the software to do 16th notes, right? So if you need to, just break it down as, right, that's just 16th note, 32nd, 16th note, right, or 16th notes. Right, right, and that's just a mix of, and you just take the left hand from this and the right hand from this. So definitely do that slow and then slowly build up speed. Right, then you have, right, you do that flip and then you get ready for the shot. Right, and that transition might be a little weird, right, because you have so much stuff to focus on. Do it without the flip. Right, and that's just. Really try to feel that fourth beat. Sweet. So now we've covered the whole lick. I hope that you guys enjoyed that very much. And yeah, have a wonderful day.